Alright, what is up, YouTube boxing family? It is K-Rod here. I have some really good fight news for you guys today. According to Boxing News 24, this is breaking news. I'm not so sure if this is finalized, but if it is finalized, congrats. Jermall Charlo versus Jaime Munguia on June 18th. This is possibly confirmed according to Huck Allen out of Boxing News 24. WBC middleweight champion Jermall Charlo and the number one contender Jaime Munguia are reportedly a done deal for June 18th. This is an excellent matchup that will likely be televised on Showtime pay-per-view on that date. Next Tuesday, Charlo versus Munguia is expected to be the official announcement for this huge fight. Charlo 32-0, 22 KOs, and the former junior middleweight champion WBO. Jaime Munguia will mix it up in the crucial fight that will determine which of the two faces undisputed 168 champion Canelo Alvarez in 2023. Okay, that's not going to happen, but okay. Michael Benson and LDEC Boxing are reporting news that Charlo versus Munguia fight. Recently, Munguia had been scheduled for the purse bid for a fight against Janabek Alinama Cooley for the WBO interim middleweight title. That fight would have determined the next champion with the WBO, considering current champion Demetrius Andrade is moving to take on Zach Parker for the WBO interim 168 title. It's believed that Andrade, if he successfully defeats Parker, will stay at super middleweight and vacate his WBO belt. With Munguia pulling out of the purse bid, Janabek will fight the next highest ranked contender in the WBO ranking, and that will be Esquiva Falco. Munguia has really improved by the leaves, blah blah blah, and he's got the power and skills to dethrone. No. Okay, but yeah, this is pretty much it. Be sure to check it out. I'm gonna put the link in the description. But I figured that I talk about this to give my initial thoughts. This is actually a very, very good fight. And credits to Jermall Charlo and his team, or like primarily, Al Heyman, just having this fight set up. And I think honestly this is absolute good news. I don't think Jermall Charlo should stay at 160 for that much longer, but I think that for this fight of this type of magnitude, this is a good win on Charlo's, resume to determine how good of a fighter he can be against a guy like Jaime Munguia. Obviously, despite all the weird moving that Jaime Munguia has been doing with Golden Boy, it is good that Jaime Munguia, decided to step up and fight Charlo. Obviously, to all the weird Jaime Munguia, racist, Mexican boxing fans, they're gonna say, "Oh, Jaime Munguia, he gonna knock out Charlo. Look at Charlo's last performance against, Juan Montiel. Jaime knocked him out easy." Even though that fight was at 147 at the time, that wasn't at 160. But here we are, fast forward to the future, at 160. So, my question to you, Jaime Munguia weirdos, is that are you going to keep this same energy when he fights Charlo? Because I am very so sure that this fight is not going to go the distance. Either someone's going to get knocked out or someone's brutally going to get hurt in this fight, where it's not going to go to a decision. It's going to go to someone either being corner stopped or TKO stoppage. I think this is a very good stylistic matchup, simply because Jaime Munguia, he is a puncher, but he's more of an inside pressure puncher. Obviously, having Erik Morales in his corner is actually a very good coach, and I give a lot of praise to Erik Morales, but I don't think Jaime's skills are at that level with a guy like Jermall Charlo, where Jermall Charlo is not going to respect Jaime's pressure And if he's not going to feel anything out of that power, then I think Jermall Charlo could very well stop Jaime Munguia. Simply because that this type of fight is more like a David Benavidez fight, if we're going to keep it real. See, now, the thing about this fight is that I don't understand why Golden Boy and Oscar De La Hoya decided to think that this is going to be a good fight to make, because I thought Jaime Munguia, he was trying to go after the WBO strap, but then obviously, he avoided that, because of him not wanting to fight Demetrius, Andrade. So, my only question is that why did Jaime decide to go after a fight like Jermall Charlo? But, fast forward to, this fight. But, compare that to the Andrade situation. He decides to not take a fight with Andrade. So, I don't know, I just find it weird that Jaime Munguia decided to take this fight because it just made zero sense to me, because I would think Jaime Munguia would decide to avoid guys like Charlo and Andrade, but no, surprisingly, Jaime Munguia did, what he had to do. So, I definitely give him a lot of credit and a lot of respect, because it takes balls to, step up to fight a guy like Jermall Charlo. And I mean, getting a win over him is also a very big, plus on Jaime Munguia's resume. So this is a good step up builder, but this is a very difficult fight. I think, the odds on this fight is definitely going to be high if Jaime wins, but I think Jermall Charlo, his style is all wrong for Jaime Munguia, and I think that this is definitely going to be a late round knockout or a early round knockout. So I don't know. I think this is definitely a good matchup for what we definitely want to see. How I think this fight will definitely play out is that it's definitely going to be mostly in the pocket, and someone's going to hit their best shot to get the guy down, and I think eventually someone's going to get knocked out. I think Charlo and Munguia is a very deadly matchup, but I think just based off of what we've seen from Munguia's performances and just like the way he looks at 160, I don't think 160 is his weight anymore. And obviously the same can be said for Jermall Charlo, but I think Charlo has a way bigger frame than Munguia, and Munguia, he is a very strong person himself, but just based off of what Charlo has shown within his physical separation, Jaime Munguia doesn't have that frame of a 160 pounder. If anything, he's more built for 168 or 175. So I don't know, man. I think this is going to be a very difficult fight, but I'm definitely going to have to favor it 55-45 in Jermall Charlo's favor. Just simply because, he presents a lot more separation within his skill set to beat Jaime Munguia at his own game. And Jaime Munguia, even if he really wanted to knock out Charlo, Jermall Charlo, he has too much of a good punch resistance to not even let a guy like Munguia, boss him, basically, boss him around and try to go for a potential knockout. So yeah, let me know how you think this fight will go. More videos on the way. I will be talking about Shakur Stevenson and Oscar Valdez press conference reaction and the Canelo situation. And then I'll also talk about Jermall Charlo's call out to Terrence Crawford and many other videos soon to come. Alright, salute to the mighty LDBC, and I'll see you guys. Bye.